Why is it that even in the 21st century, mental health and emotional control among men are rarely discussed topics? It's a question that nags at the heart of our society, a question that is often brushed under the rug. The stigma surrounding mental health in men is a heavy burden that many carry in silence, a silence that's outlasted generations and seeped into the very fabric of our culture. It's a silence that's cost us dearly. Suicide rates among young men are alarmingly high, a tragic testament to the urgent need for better access to mental health care. We are in the midst of a crisis that is as real as it is invisible. This is not about pushing men to conform to societal norms, but about acknowledging their struggles, giving them a voice, and providing them the support they need. This is not just a health crisis, but a silent crisis that needs immediate attention. But what exactly is mental health, and why does it matter so much? Mental health, in its simplest form, is our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It encompasses how we think, feel, and act. It's about understanding our own abilities, coping with the normal stresses of life, working productively and fruitfully, and making contributions to our community. It's not just about the absence of mental disorders or disabilities. Mental health is a state of well-being where an individual realizes his or her own potential. It's a state of mind where you can cope with the daily stresses of life, work productively, and contribute positively to the community. But why should we care about mental health? Why is it so important? Mental health is paramount because it affects every aspect of our lives. It influences our thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. Good mental health allows us to form positive relationships, adapt to change, and cope with adversity. Moreover, mental health doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's closely intertwined with our physical health. When our mental health is poor, our physical health can also take a hit. For instance, chronic stress, a mental health issue, can lead to physical problems like heart disease and weakened immune systems. Mental health is a critical part of our overall health and well-being. It's a vital aspect of our lives that impacts our thoughts, feelings, and actions. It affects how we handle stress, relate to others, and make decisions. It's also worth noting that mental health is essential at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. It's not something that should be taken lightly or ignored. In a world that often prioritizes physical health, it's time we put the same emphasis on mental health. Because mental health isn't just about the mind. It's about our whole self, our whole life. Mental health is not a luxury, but a necessity for a fulfilling life. Now, let's delve into the concept of emotional control. What does it mean and why is it crucial? Emotional control is the ability to manage and respond to an emotional experience in a way that is socially acceptable and yet authentic to your inner feelings. It's not about suppressing or ignoring your emotions, but rather understanding them, acknowledging their presence, and expressing them in a constructive manner. Think of emotional control as the captain of your ship. The seas of life can be unpredictable, filled with storms of stress, waves of anxiety, and gusts of frustration. As the captain, emotional control helps you to navigate these waters, maintaining balance and directing your ship towards calmer seas. Emotional control plays a vital role in managing stress. When we understand our emotions, we can better identify what triggers our stress and how we react to it. This understanding allows us to develop healthier coping mechanisms, such as deep breathing or meditation, instead of resorting to harmful behaviors like substance abuse or self-isolation. In the realm of relationships, emotional control is equally important. It fosters empathy, understanding, and patience, allowing us to communicate our feelings effectively and handle conflicts with grace. Without emotional control, we risk damaging our relationships through impulsive reactions and miscommunication. Finally, emotional control enhances our overall mental health. When we're able to process and express our emotions healthily, we improve our self-esteem, resilience, and psychological well-being. We feel more grounded, more authentic, and more connected to ourselves and others. But let's remember, emotional control is not achieved overnight. It's a journey, a skill that we cultivate over time. It's about learning to sit with our emotions, to listen to what they're telling us, and to respond with kindness and understanding, both towards ourselves and others. So as we navigate the turbulent seas of life, let's remember the importance of emotional control. It's not about ignoring the storm, but learning how to sail in it. It's about understanding that our emotions are not our enemies, but signals, guiding us towards growth and healing. Emotional control is the key to navigate the turbulent waves of life. Ego control and emotional control, two sides of the same coin or fundamentally different? This is a question that many ponder on their path to better mental health. Let's delve into what these two terms mean. Ego control refers to our ability to manage our self-esteem, our pride, and our sense of self-importance. It's about how we perceive ourselves and how we want others to perceive us. It's the driving force behind our need for validation and our desire to protect our image. On the other hand, emotional control is about managing our feelings and reactions to the world around us. It's about understanding our emotions, recognizing them, and expressing them in a healthy way. It's about not letting our emotions rule us, but rather us ruling our emotions. At first glance, these two may seem interconnected. After all, our emotions can affect our ego and our ego can influence our emotions. However, they are not always in sync. For instance, a person can have a strong ego control, protecting their self-image at all costs, but still struggle with emotional control, unable to manage their feelings effectively. Conversely, someone might have excellent emotional control, yet struggle with ego control, constantly seeking validation from others. Understanding this difference is crucial. It's like trying to solve a puzzle. You can't put the pieces together if you don't know what each piece represents. By separating ego control and emotional control, we can address each one individually, thus making our mental health journey more effective. We must remember that it's not about suppressing our ego or emotions, it's about managing them in a way that promotes our well-being. It's about striking a balance where our ego doesn't override our emotional needs and our emotions don't sabotage our self-esteem. In the end, it's not a battle between ego control and emotional control. It's a delicate dance where both partners need to move in harmony for the dance to be beautiful. Understanding the difference between ego and emotional control can be a game changer in your mental health journey. So, let's take a step forward and let's continue this dance for a healthier and happier us. Opening, why should I have labs done if I'm not physically ill? You see, our minds are as vital as our bodies. They are the control centers of our lives, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and overall well-being. However, unlike a physical ailment, mental health conditions are often invisible, making them challenging to diagnose without a thorough examination. Regular checkups, therefore, become essential in this regard. Now, you might wonder, what do these checkups entail? They typically involve a comprehensive mental health screening conducted by a professional. These screenings are designed to spot early signs of mental health conditions like depression, anxiety, or bipolar disorder before they escalate into severe problems. Think of it like a dental checkup. You go to the dentist not just when you have a toothache, but also for routine cleanings to prevent cavities and gum disease. Similarly, regular mental health checkups are preventive measures, helping detect issues early, giving you a fighting chance to overcome them before they take a toll on your life. Moreover, these checkups aren't just about diagnosis, they're also about guidance. Our mental health professionals aren't just there to identify problems, they're there to help us navigate them. They provide us with the right tools and strategies to manage our mental health, just as a fitness coach would guide us in maintaining our physical health. There's a profound wisdom in the old saying, prevention is better than cure. Regular checkups allow us to be proactive about our mental health rather than reactive. They let us catch potential issues when they're still manageable, and before they snowball into something much larger. Remember, mental health issues don't discriminate. They can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, or background. So, regular mental health checkups are as crucial as your annual physical exam. Closing, your mental health deserves the same attention as your physical health. Let's commit to regular checkups, early detection, and proactive care. After all, strength isn't just about muscles and might, but also about the mind and its well-being. If you're thinking about harming yourself or others, it's time to break the silence. We live in a world where the strong, silent type is often glorified. But silence, when it comes to mental health struggles, can be a dangerous game. Maybe you've heard it before, the phrase, "a problem shared is a problem halved." In essence, this means that when you open up about your struggles, the burden becomes less heavy. Communication is a powerful tool. It's like a bridge that connects us to others. It allows us to express our thoughts, feelings, and experiences, making us feel understood and less alone. But more than that, when we communicate our mental health struggles, we give ourselves the chance to receive help and support. Now let's talk about the role of community and support systems. Imagine you're trying to move a heavy piece of furniture. Alone, it might seem impossible, but with a few additional hands, suddenly the task becomes manageable. The same principle applies to mental health. When we're struggling, the support of others can make a world of difference. A supportive community can provide emotional assistance, practical advice, and sometimes they can even help us access professional help. We also can't overlook the power of communication in reducing stigma. When more people speak openly about mental health, it sends a message that it's okay to struggle and it's okay to seek help. It helps to normalize these conversations and makes them a part of our everyday lives. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like you can't go on, remember that it's okay to lean on others. It's okay to seek help, to talk about your feelings, to admit that you're not okay, because in the end, we're all human. We all struggle and we all need support. And remember that there are numerous resources out there, from hotlines to therapists, who are ready to lend a listening ear and provide professional help. Remember, it's okay to reach out. You are not alone. So how can one achieve better emotional control and improve mental health? The road to emotional control and improved mental health is paved with a series of small, consistent steps. Remember, it's not about perfection, but progress. Let's start with mindfulness. This is the practice of being fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. Mindfulness can be cultivated through meditation, yoga, or simply taking a moment to breathe and observe your surroundings. It's about acknowledging your emotions without judgment, allowing you to gain a better understanding of what you're feeling and why. Next, consider therapy. There's often a stigma attached to seeking professional help, but it's one of the most effective ways to gain emotional control and improve mental health. Therapists are trained to help you understand and navigate your emotions, providing you with tools and techniques to manage them effectively. And remember, it's perfectly okay to shop around until you find a therapist you connect with. Self-care is another crucial component. This doesn't just mean bubble baths and spa days, though those can certainly be part of it. Self-care encompasses any activity that helps you recharge and take care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. This could be taking a walk in nature, reading a book, exercising, or even just taking the time to prepare a nutritious meal. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of a strong support network. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, empathize with your struggles, and encourage your growth. These might be trusted friends, family members, or support groups, either online or in person. Having a safe space to express your emotions and experiences can be incredibly healing. Remember, it's okay to have bad days. What matters is that you don't let those days define you. You are not your emotions. You are the observer of your emotions, and with practice and patience, you can learn to navigate them with grace and resilience. Improving mental health and emotional control is a journey, not a destination. Strive for progress, not perfection, and remember to be kind to yourself along the way. It's time we change the narrative around mental health and emotional control in men. We live in a society that often pressures men to be stoic, to suppress their emotions, to carry their burdens alone. But this model of masculinity is not only outdated, it's harmful. It creates an environment where men feel unable to express their feelings, to seek help when they're struggling, to admit that they're not okay. This isn't strength, it's a form of imprisonment. We need to dismantle this harmful narrative and replace it with one that encourages open dialogue, acceptance, and empathy. Mental health struggles are not a sign of weakness, they're a sign of being human. Everyone, regardless of gender, experiences emotional highs and lows. It's time we recognize that it's okay for men to be vulnerable, to express their feelings, to seek help when they're struggling. We need to foster a culture where men feel comfortable talking about their mental health, where they're not stigmatized for experiencing emotional distress. We need to normalize conversations about mental health in our homes, in our schools, in our workplaces. We need to educate ourselves and others about the importance of emotional control, about the difference between ego control and emotional control, about the signs of mental distress. We need to advocate for better access to mental health care, for regular mental health checkups, for early intervention and prevention strategies. We need to send a clear message to men that it's okay to ask for help, that they're not alone in their struggles, that their mental health matters. We need to change the narrative around men and mental health. We need to replace the harmful trope of the stoic, unfeeling man with a more nuanced, compassionate understanding of masculinity. We need to redefine strength not as the absence of vulnerability but as the courage to face one's vulnerabilities and seek help when needed. Remember, it's not just about being strong, it's about being mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually strong. It's time we talk, King.